Hey, my name is Ben and I teach you how to write Unity shaders from scratch. Today's video, what we're going to do is go over this effect. It's kind of a little bit of a distortion combined with a smooth step. As you can see, this little thin glow here, and it's actually an effect that's kind of ever running. It doesn't kind of, I know there were certain effects that kind of, distorted in and out, but this is like an ever looping type of effect. So we're going to kind of go through that. As you can see here, I can tint it into different shades. I can increase the intensity here. In fact, this white, this glow, it's actually just a white. You can actually, I don't have it here, but of course you can, choose to tint that differently. You can change the thickness of this stuff. You can change the texture so that you can have a different type of distortion effect. So yeah, hope you guys think this is pretty cool, and let's jump right into it. All right, so the starting shader we have here is very simple. I've left this blend in here, but what it is, it's just, I called it AnimatedDissolve, and what it is, it's just a simple texture sample for now. The first thing we need to do is we need to capture the luminance of our main texture, and then we want to do a ramp and a multiply on it. So I think I've done stuff like this one before, so I'll just kind of blaze right through it. Cool, seems to work, luminance. So we need 3 variables. We need the color, we need a ramp and an intensity. So I'll default the color to white. We're going to create a new color. We'll just call it main color, I guess. We'll take the luminance, times it by the color, and then we will ramp the color. So main color is equal to, not ramp, so ramp is pow. Main color, I'm going to power it by our ramp amounts, and then we're going to multiply the whole thing by the intensity. I'm going to return main color. I see, main color should be a float 3. We're going to get rid of this actually, this line. I'm just going to return main color here. It's float 3. Right, so now that we have this guy, we should be able to control the color, crank the intensity, as well as have a ramp effect. Cool. All right, so the next thing we need to do is actually capture the next texture. We're going to use a distort texture. Distort texture. This is main. This is distort. Oops. And what I'm going to do is copy this over here. Down here, I'm going to do a distort text. Okay, and something that's grayscale will work pretty well here. And what we need to do is we want to capture the peaks that is within the 0 to 1 range. And we're going to use a sine wave to do that. Actually, here I have in Desmos, I've created this simple graphic calculator, this visual as an explanation. So between 0 and 1, we have this formula. It's creating all these peaks. And we're going to be using especially the top peaks over here to determine where we want to show our distortion. So, and we can also move this with time. So if we do +1, +2, you can see it's kind of animating, right? In fact, if we did A, how do I do a slider? There we go, +A. If we slide it, you can see how it animates, right? So Cool. Let's go ahead and make that. So it'll be, let's see, it's going to be a float 1. Actually, it's going to be float 1. It's going to be a distort move. This is kind of a mask that we're trying to create. And what we want to do is have absolute value sign. The X is going to be distort red channel, or any channel, but a singular value, so red channel, times 10. 10 is just an arbitrary value that could be adjusted later, plus time. So A will be time because it's going to be animated, right? So, oops. Dot, let's say Y. Okay, that should be right. Let's have a look at it. Probably error, but that's okay. All right, cool. As you can see now, we are animating this effect, and this is kind of almost what we want. What we want to do is take this and apply a step to it that will create that that hard value that we had before. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll take distort move, or this is more of a mask. Let's change it to the word mask. Distort mask, and we will do a step on it. So it's equal to step distort mask. We'll do 0.5 for now. This is almost kind of like the thickness of it, right? Cool. As you can see, it's working here. It seems to be really blocky. I wonder if that has to do with this texture. So we're going to try another texture. There we go. That one's a lot smoother. Maybe that texture is just too low res, right? Cool. So this 0.5 is really going to be our thickness. If you do lower, it should be thin. Higher should be thicker, right? So that kind of can be our next value. We'll just call it distort thickness, I guess. Probably defaulted to 1. So as you can see here, we can actually now modify it. Cool, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to display our main text based off of this mask. So we can do main text times our mask. And it should show up like this. And then since we have the mask, we can also put this in here. That might actually be wrong. Oh no, it's right. Yeah, so we can now start to see our character coming into effect. Sorry, main text is actually wrong. It's actually main color, right? Because we're trying to create that ghostly-like effect. There we go. The last thing we want to add is that rim. There's this very thin rim that we can add that is in between where it's cut off and into the texture. So in order to do that, what we do is use a smooth step. So let's go ahead and add that. It's a very simple thing. We'll create something new. Let's call it float. Call it glow, I guess. Glow is equal to. It'll be distort the smooth step. Smooth step. The thickness will be the same, but what will be different is the plus and minus that is here. If you guys remember, smooth step is just interpolating between two values. So plus, I'll do 0.1 for now. Minus 0.1. If we do that, let's kind of show our glow. No, I don't want to do that. Let's just return it directly. I have this backwards. This should be minus and this one should be plus. Lower and higher, I believe. Okay, and then maybe we need to do a 1 minus on it. No, it's not quite right either. Okay, so the issue here is because we've already taken distort mask and did a step on it, we cannot use it to do a smooth step here. So what we want to do is separate this out. So this instead will be distort step. Now we have distort mask separated out. Now we can get that faded effect I was expecting. And then when we return our thing, let's return glow. We'll do fixed 4, we'll return glow, RRR, and then we'll return the distort step here. Nice, that'll give us the, see how it's dark and has that really thin edge white here. So what we want to do is, let's do intensity, and yeah, I think intensity will be enough. We'll just call it glow intensity. And in fact, we'll also tune this as well. This is a glow thickness. So let's go ahead and add those two. Great, we'll go ahead and add those two values here. So for glow thickness, we'll replace this in 0.1. For glow intensity, I will then replace, let's say, I don't have it yet. So how we're going to use this glow, let's multiply the whole thing by it. So we'll take glow times equals this one, not glow to glow. Missed a semicolon. Great. All right, now it looks like we can control the intensity, the thickness, as well as the intensity of it. That's cool. All right, yeah. And we can control the thickness. All right, so let's go ahead and put all of this together. So now that we have our glow, that can be added on to our main color. So we don't need this anymore. Let's go back to what we had before. We're going to take the glow and we need to add it on to a main color. And our main color is going to multiply by our, by our distortion step. In fact, this can go here. There we go. My Unity seems to be lagging a bit, but it is working. If the thickness is over 1, it kind of breaks, right? To me, it looks a little bit better if this thickness was a little bit thicker. So this could be our character. If you're noticing this issues, this is an issue of UVing. I kind of just picked up this character online, but I would have UV'd it differently in a way where it could take this into account. Another way is using screen space UVs if that is an option for you. But yeah, that is it for this particular video. This is kind of creating this ghostly-like type of effect where your distortion is ever cycling and it's just continuously cycling on top of each other, like kind of displaying in and out. It's mostly using this function right here, or this formula right here to kind of create this effect. Cool. So if you guys like my video, please like, subscribe, and support my channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.